Hello everyone and welcome to another Phyrexia All Will Be One traditional draft. This time the rare is not first pickable. You maybe could play this in some very oil heavy deck, but it's a real cost to have a land that only produces colorless mana, so you would really need to be able to benefit from the oil counters to put this into a deck. Well, regardless, it's never gonna be a first pick. Out of these uncommons, yeah, this is clearly best, the Bladehold War Whip. This is a really nice 3 mana 2/2 double striker, and of course then you can at some point maybe have even extra mana to move it around. Plus the fact that your other equipment are cheaper to use the ability to equip with, that's definitely relevant. I think that I might take it because there's no like a premium common. I'm not really going to first pick something like a Crawling Codus, especially because, or the Siphroner, because I just had a couple of toxic decks already, so maybe if white and red would be open, I could draft something else than, toxic mechanic or corrupted mechanic. Alright, so first of all, Tablet of Completion is, I think I would be willing to play this in slower decks and decks that have proliferation or some oil counter synergies, because this will be a very cheap way to draw cards. Now on turn 2, you still have to, you will get the mana on turn 4, not earlier than that. So you can't really play a turn 3 4-drop with this thing because you need 2 counters on this thing before it happens. But the real payoff is the 5 or more oil counters. So it's something I would be willing to play in some decks, but I don't consider it a high pick. The best card in the pack, I think, is the Evolving Adaptive. Just a very efficient 1-drop. I would take it over the Ruthless Predation, which is another decent green card. Now, you could take something like an Oxida Finisher if you really are going for the equipment, but I think it's so early in the draft, I can't really commit to it. This is the best card. I should take the best card here. This can easily come back at pick number 10, so I'll keep that in mind in case I find still some, white-red equipment stuff. Okay, game, don't do this to me, because there's a Necrogen, a Rot Priest, which is amazing. Now this Cephalopod Sentry is really good too, but it doesn't really, combine with my first 2 picks. This Rot Priest, of course, very nicely goes into a deck that has the adaptive. Now there is also the Ichor Plate Golem, which is very good in a oil deck, which is green something, maybe green blue, green red are the primary candidates for that. Also very good with the adaptive. Now there's some white cards that are playable. Yeah, the green cards, I guess that Steward could be considered, but I would take the Golem over the Steward for sure. Am I maybe gonna intentionally avoid the black green because I had that a couple of drafts ago? I'm actually gonna take the Golem. I think the Rot Priest is the peak when you have the adaptive, but I just try to avoid drafting something that involves the toxic mechanic and corrupted mechanic. And the Golem will be a very good card if you get the oil stuff, but it seems I don't get it. Now, if I took the black 4-drop, I think it would be rather easy to just take the Sealdredge Head Cleaver and go on with that. But I won't be taking it now. I think the best card in the pack is the blue-black. No matter how bad the stats show that blue-black is in this format, this is definitely a 2-drop. I'm always interested in playing. But I have no blue, no black cards. I don't want to take a blue-black card here. Maybe I take the Bodish or the Slinger. I don't think this one is too. Let's take the 2-drop. I'm not happy about it, but that at least allows me to still try to play. The 2-drop enables the white-red. It can be played in the white-red deck, and it can be played in the red-green deck. Now, if I knew I'm gonna get another Voidwing hybrid right away, I think I would have just maybe gone for it. But of course, there's no way of knowing. Yeah, this pack still has good options for me. Now I could go for the red-green and take the Cultivator, and the Troll is nice in the oil deck too, but I could just take the Batter Fist. Works with the War Whip. This is more like a blue-white card. Couple of playable black cards with the toxic mechanic, but I'm not taking on either of those. I guess I do like the War Whip enough that I'm gonna just take the Batter Fist. And of course you can play the Batter Fist in a red-green deck too, for sure. How about here? Well, I think it's mostly two options here. The Lightbringer, which is, I think, decent enough in an equipment deck, because you can end up with like 8 equipment in this format, even more, because they all, well, all the, well, most of the equipment have the 4 Mirrodin, so you get creatures, so you don't get punished by playing too many equipment. But the Blazing Crescendo is quite nice too. I think I still take the Lightbringer. Let's try to make the white-red deck work, because I have had a couple of unrecorded drafts where I had a very good successful white-red decks. This start isn't as good as I had in them though. Now here is Sacrifice. I've played it a little bit. It's like a mediocre card. Not easy to get good value out of it. And really depends on what you're playing against. I think I'll just take the Theramorphic Expanse. Man, there are some blue cards. I'm willing to play some blue decks at some point, but the draft starts didn't really give me anything strong blue, so there's not really a reason to go to. There wasn't a reason to go to blue, but blue is of course opening. I think it is the weakest color in the set, judging by the card quality of the color, but it does have some nice stuff. I really want to be able to play that color at some point. Alright, so Awakening the Sleeper is like okay if you have some number of sacrifice effects. There are a few in the set, not too many though. One of them is the Slinger though. Am I gonna play this as maybe a sideboard card, or am I gonna go like a Merkin Smith? I think I like this more in the blue-white deck that really wants to just keep artifacts, but the 4-mana 3-1, even if it draws you another one, is not quite that good. Even though it seems to be open, I could have gone for it. Alright, well, I can take a Basilica Skullbomb. Nothing wrong with that when you're playing white. Of course, it's not clear I'm gonna play white. I don't see a lot of white here, but pack 2 will determine a bunch of things, how this draft goes. Okay, so Basilisk, fine. Atlas. I don't really play the Atlas in this kind of color combination. Dune Mover. If I need to splash something, I can play a 2-drop that allows me to splash. Maybe I'll take it. I guess I could still be red-green and maybe, but I don't think in red-green I'm that interested in the Basilisk, so that's fine. Alright, so now I can take another Lightbringer if I really want to. The fact it gets +1/+1 when it's equipped, that's really making that better than a regular 3/2 ward 2 for 3. Yeah, I'll try the white stuff now. White-red stuff, and head another Kinsmith. Well, I guess I'm gonna pass them. I'll just take the uncommon here. Prophetic Prism. Yeah, well, if I want to splash something that does allow it to happen. Oh, Phyrexian Vindicator. Well, let's cut the green for now. This is my only green card. Okay, well, you know what? That quadruple of white is just very nasty. I mean, if you want to have at least 12, 13, ideally 14 sources for white, because this is of course good on turn 6 if you have 4 white sources and 2 some other sources. It's still fine, but that requires a lot. Now it is a mythic rare, I have only 1 copy of them, and I quite often do rare draft mythics, but I have a very good payoff for my deck, and it's the 2nd copy of the Bladehold Warwhip, and this is one of the scenarios where I'm not gonna rare draft a mythic because this is such a good card. If it was like a little bit less impressive card, I would maybe just rare draft this, or maybe keep the option open to still go mono white or close to mono white. But here, given what I have already picked, I think I should just take the Warwhip and try to 3-0 yet another draft. And wow, well, I can take the uncolor, the rare now because it's totally uncolor, and well, it's not a mythic rare, so rare drafting wise this doesn't make any difference because regular rares are easy to complete. It's the mythics that are the bottleneck. But this is just an amazing limited card. So basically you get a 5-mana 4/4 hasty flyer. And not only that, but you can even actually make your other creatures into +2/+2 have flyers, and I suppose also haste. It costs 5 mana to equip, but later in the game you might have a 7 mana, play a 2-drop, and then equip this right away. Anyway, it's an insane bomb, so let's take it. Another good card would be the Raptor, although it's not so good when you don't have toxic creatures to, make fly with it. What the? Okay, I suppose the people to my left are not red. Okay, this is not something. This is something that doesn't happen quite that often. I mean, you get back-to-back amazing bomb rares for your own colors. This is sick. By the way, I shouldn't play the golem here. I don't think it's good in the white-red deck. But yeah, let's take the glider. That is absolutely hilarious that I got those back to back. I mean, you can get 2 of the same rares in the same draft, but you know, getting back to back past them, that is really nice. Okay, well, I'm gonna take the Jorkadin. I don't know. Well, currently I don't have that many ways to make the draw card happen, but it's still a 2-mana 2/2 with a very nice, you know, upside. So definitely taking it here. Another good option would be to take the Hover Wings, which I'm, of course, I would just take it if the rare wasn't here. But this rare, and I also need a 2-drop here, so that's another reason to take it. But it can be very good. Now here I'm gonna take the Double Striker. By the way, I didn't get the finisher in the previous pack. I quite like because you can make this cost 5 or 4 mana in a dedicated deck. For example, now I have 5 equipment already, which I'm gonna play all of them, but it's still gonna be better to just take the duelist. I mean, I don't care about the toxic, I care about it being a double striker, which I can equip with something maybe to just be a massive damage dealer. Okay, let's take it and move on. Okay, well, there's another 5-drop, but I'm actually not that I don't need them that much anymore. This is a good one, but I got double glider, which are 5-drops. So the other option is to take the 2-drop or take the Lightbringer number 3. I don't know. I have enough 3-drops here. It's tough. Maybe I take the 2-drop. I really don't think I need another 5-drop here. I mean, this is a really good one. Menace 5/5 and Reach at the same time. I still take the 2-drop because these 5-drops are, you know, all the 5-drops I need. Now I just want to focus on having some early plays. All right, so here not really an oil deck. So did I cut the golem? Yes, I did. Is there something else I'm not supposed to play here currently? The Dune Mover, not interested in that. Yeah, okay, I think I'll just take the Crescendo. I do like these lands a lot, but it's very good with the Double Striker, for instance. Wow. Okay, well, this pack is actually not so easy, because the Furnace Punisher is such a good 3-drop. And there's the Batter Fist, which actually is also quite good, but there's another Jorkadin. Now, this thing is legendary, but maybe I should play a deck with double rares. You know, I think the Punisher is slightly better, but I still need more 2-drops than 3-drops, so I suppose it's not such a bad idea. Also, you can just keep it with the Basilica's Calbom, the boost, because this power 4 doesn't care about whether it's from the equipped creatures you control or whatever reason. As long as this has power 4 and it attacks, you get to draw a card. So the Basilica's Calbom is quite good in that. I'll take the Blast here. I'm not sure if I'm going to main deck it, but it's at least going to be a pretty decent sideboard card. Now, I think the Justiciar would be okay. I have here... Okay, actually, no, I don't have time for that. I'll take the Justiciar. I don't think the Helm is that amazing. And I was just wanting to check the number of artifacts I have. It's actually 10, so I have many pump effects for it. I'm not going to play the 4-mana Zapper, so I'll just take the... Oh, the Aspirant. Oh, this is actually the... Yeah, this is exactly what you want to have. Did I actually pass one of these earlier without realizing it's the Equipment Synergy card? Because I at least passed one of the Oil Synergy cards, but I'm happy I actually got 2 of these Aspirants, but I maybe should have paid more attention to these things earlier, because these were so late that I passed them. Well, maybe I picked something a lot better over them, but these are very good in the equipment deck, because making the mana cost cheaper is already quite nice. Now, Skrell's Hive is decent, Planar Disruption is good, the Fuseling is good, the Hex Gold Halberd is good. I really maybe should take the removal spell, but man, I like to have the Halberd if possible. But I suppose I have 2-drops now. I take the removal now. Let's take the Planar Disruption. The Hive is good, but maybe a little bit better in decks that have a lot more toxic creatures. I'm a bit sad about passing the Halberd, but what can you do? Okay, I get more removal now. But is it gonna be the Ossification or the Hex Gold Slash? That's not such an easy decision for me, actually. It could be either. This deals with anything, this is instant and can be very mana efficient against toxic stuff. opponent might have enchantment removal, but that's not often a thing. I think I still take the slash, maybe. It's nice 1-drop 2. Turn 1 play, being on the draw, having this on their starting hand is really nice. I'll take this now, but you could take the ossification. Totally fine. I don't care about the skull bomb here. I don't really care about the oil. Monument to perfection, not really. I mean, you can make, if you pick enough of these different kind of spheres and just put different basic lands to your deck, you can actually make this into get the activation done, but it's really a hard thing to do, and it makes the mana in your deck quite bad. So I'll just take the Furnace over the second copy of the Crescendo or the Mites here. I have enough playables here almost already, and I can just take the land, which I think will make my deck just better without taking a card slot. Alright, well, let's take a third War Whip. Why not? Why not? There's also Kaito. This thing is not a mythic rare, so I'm not... I mean, even if it was, I would take the War Whip here. The mythic rare drafting isn't like the... I mean, I will be drafting enough of this set to complete it anyway at some point, so I can, pass some mythics. But like I said, this is not even a mythic rare. But yeah, I wouldn't mind having the splitter, but of course this is just, just easily better. Any good stuff? Okay, the Duelist of the Deep Fate, this is still... I mean, you can just ignore the Toxic. A 2-mana 2/2 with first strike on your own turn. That's a really good aggressive card. I'm gonna take it. And okay, so I'm given an option to take a Furnace Punisher after all. Yeah, this is the oily counter thing. That I don't care about this. Now I could take the Fair Basilica because I don't think I have... Maybe there's some cuttables. But I have a lot of 3s. I don't have a lot of 4s though. I'm gonna take the Punisher. It's just so good. But I would really like to have the Basilica. It's a tough one, but I already passed one of these. I'm not going to pass another one. And there's a Crescendo, the only card I would be interested in, so let's take it. And okay, there's a Woolsock Splitter. There's a Helm, but I have 3-drops, a lot of them. I might give this guy Vigilance in this deck, but I still just take the Splitter. It's actually quite nice because it's equip 2 when you have one of these War Whips. If you have 2 of these, it's equip 1. And it's also gonna be cheaper to equip the Aspirant. And now there's another Aspirant. Oh, I have so many cards now. I guess I'll take these, but I don't think I'm gonna play 3 of them. Yeah, this is 31. Well, let's say it's 29 non-lands. Well, let's take another Crescendo. I don't think I'm gonna main deck 3 of them. And this doesn't matter anymore. The red-white color combination was definitely open, and it's really funny to have 2 of these gliders back-to-back picks. Okay. Okay, so I think because the card quality in the deck is quite good, I don't think I need like a main deck Hazardous Blast. I will be sideboarding this against decks that really, when I can punish with the 1 damage. I mean, the opponent has a lot of X1s, and the Awaken the Sleeper is just totally unnecessary in this deck. So that's 2 easy cards. The question is, am I gonna play 16 lands or 17? I do have 1 land that draws me a card. If I took the white version of this thing also, I could have taken 1 over the Furnace Punisher that came quite late. I would be easily playing 17 lands with 2 of these card drawers. Now that I have only 1, thing is that sometimes you need some mana to move around this equipment. These Crescendos can net me some cards. I believe I'm going to still play 17 lands because I have 2 of these 5 mana bombs. It would be really awkward to be stuck at less than 5 lands for multiple turns while holding one of these, because these things just, make it easier to win, so much easier to win. So I will be playing 17 lands, which means I will still cut 5 more cards. Well, one of the Leoning Lightbringers is an easy cut. Let's see. Okay, I guess one of the Crescendos is an easy cut too. And then current artifact count is 12. That makes the Mandible Justiciar like still quite okay. I think I'm still gonna cut one of the Skull Bombs despite the good synergy with them. Jorkadin here. So let's see how many equipment was it in the end. It is 7. So this gets plus X plus X. Number of equipped creatures you control. Yeah, I could, out of the 7, if I have 2 out and both of them of course have to be equipped on different creatures, I get this thing happen. I do think I want to play one of the Skull Bombs. It's also quite decent with the double striker, of course, because that's 6 in the air. Sometimes that can just be all you need to win the game. But yeah, let's see the number of 2-drop creatures. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I could see cutting one of the 2-drops. Now I have a lot of 3-drops. That's a total of 5. That's 9 3-drops. But I have only 1 4-drop and 2 5-drops here. So I of course often will be playing a 3-drop, both on turn 3 and turn 4. And given how good these are for this deck at least, well, I mean the war whips are always gonna be good, but and the Punisher is always gonna be good. It's not an embarrassing play on turn 4. And the Aspirant is decent in this deck. Oh, by the way, yeah, these are equipment, so you actually, yeah, these things make these into 4 mana cards, and I do have 3 of them, so if I play 3 of them, I guess I could get away with having only 16 lands, because that also makes the Woolsock Splitter into a 3 mana spell. So even if I'm stuck at 3 lands, if I have one of these guys out, this is still gonna be just a 3-drop. Yeah, I guess with the Aspirants, because all the cards that cost more than 3 are equipment, and I have 3 ways to make them cheaper. Yeah, this is gonna be a 16 land deck. That's for sure now. 16 lands it is. So the question is, am I going to cut the Mandible Justiciar? Now, sometimes when you are playing in an aggressive matchup where you actually care about your life total, not just the amount of poison counters you have, a Lifelinker can be quite nice. But maybe I can use this as a sideboard card for those scenarios. The total number of creatures here is 13, but of course that lies quite a bit, because all the equipment in my deck are for Mirrodin equipment. So I have actually 20 creatures in this deck and 5 non-creatures now at this point. And the non-creatures are Skullbomb, Hexgold, Slash, Planetary Disruption, and a couple of these Blazing Crescendos. Those are my only non-creatures. So I should definitely cut a creature. And I think I have enough equipment to make the Lightbringer quite nice. With this it becomes a 6-3. Okay, 6-3 isn't that amazing, but with the Battle Feast it becomes a 5-2. Yeah, well, I guess it's not that great. It is great with the 4 Mirrodin. I'm sorry, Bladehold War Whip. I have 3 of these, so when I equip one of these, it's gonna be a 4-3 Ward 2 double strike. Yeah, I guess it's a reason to play both of the Lightbringers. And I believe the card I'm gonna cut here is gonna be just the Mandible Justiciar. This still leaves me with 7 2-drops, and yes, you could not play the Shrapnel Slinger, but I actually do think that because this is actually a sorcery speed Shatter. Of course, you can sacrifice anything else too. But this is sometimes quite nice. Opponent might have like a 4-drop artifact creature. You just play this and it's removal on it. So I think this is a better one against an unknown opponent than the Justiciar. But I could see sideboarding maybe one of these out and this guy in. Now, do I want to have a 3rd Crescendo? I don't think I do. This is now 24 spells, so 16 lands now. That's gonna be fine. That's 10 white, 18 red. So a lot more red, but still a lot of white, so I should play as even of a mana base as I can. But of course, now that I'm adding here, well, let's add 1 plains here just to make it even, and then we see that currently I have 13 lands to add, and I have basically 2 and 2 here. So I will add 6 and 7, and because I do have more red, and I have these double caster reds too, it's just easy. 7 mountains and 6 more plains. Let's have the Barbaros here. And then I will have what kind of a mountain here? Dragon Wing Glider. Something with the dragon. There was a dragon mountain in some it was in the, yeah, this one. This has the dragon, or is it a Batman? But anyway, because I have a couple of these dragon wing gliders, I want to reflect. I mean, these guys clearly cast this shadow. So that's the reason to add that specific mountain. Alright, so this deck seems pretty nice. I mean, triple war whip, double war dragon wing glider. I do lack removal. The slash and the disruption are the only ones, but I have a, these pump spells. This can draw me cards. This makes my creature, significant enough that I don't maybe need removal to push through. And I have the one skull bomb, which I do like here. So I'm still not playing the crescendo, not playing the second skull bomb, not playing the hazardous blast. There are things I could consider sideboarding in, as well as the justiciar. But let's play it with this deck that has 12 plus 7. Sorry, yeah, that's 19 creatures and 5 non-creature spells. Okay, I mean, effectively, these are of course non-creature spells, but they count as creatures. Alright. Okay, my deck is very good, so I hope I don't have too many mana issues, because I think this has potential for yet another 3-0. But then again, my opponents can have good decks too, so it's never a given, regardless of how good your deck is. But this is of course a perfect start. I do need second red for this, but the Aspirant does make it into a 4-drop. And I can play a 2-drop, and I can of course just play the Furnace Punisher. Opponent, by the way, went to 6 here. Okay, I can have some artifact removal if needed. I think I'll start with this thing though. I think I won't start with that thing. It is better than... this can actually draw me cards, so I'm gonna just play this to trade with the rat. It's not an artifact. So then I can play the Punisher. If I draw a mountain though, then I should play the Aspirant. Okay, they are not willing to trade here. Interesting though. They have a 3-2, which I can also block. I guess they, are willing to trade this guy with the Slinger, because they still get the 1-1. Regardless, I'll just play the War Whip here. They have to have a removal on this thing, otherwise they can't really attack into this board, because of course this is double strike. It's white-black, they have of course multiple things that get benefit if I'm corrupted. Now they will have 1 or 2 tricks here, but I mean, I'll just, go for it. Does it matter which one I'm gonna block? They could have the indestructible trick. Then the double strike doesn't matter. So they're gonna save them. I guess they're... Well, let's maybe do it like this. I'd still rather kill the 3-2, even though they get the 1-1. So if they wanna, yeah, if they have the double strike, I mean the indestructible trick, I'd rather them use on the rat than on the Hive Master. Maybe they have 2 of them, who knows? Okay, that's actually not helping, because it still has double strike. Wow, that was a lot better than I thought. They didn't even get the proliferate value. When they lost 3 cards, got 1 of these back. And I lost, half a card. Alright, well, let's see. I mean, this will be a 2-mana spell once I have the Aspirant here. I think I should play the Lightbringer here, because it has Ward 2. It makes it harder for them to, kill it and apply more pressure. So let's do this here. Because of the Ward 2. I'd rather not give them any, poison attacks. Of course my hand is just great, so I mean, as long as the opponent doesn't drop anything like insane stuff, I will have enough spells for the rest of the game. Maybe if I never draw the second bread sauce for the glider, then I could be... Well, I'm not even in that much trouble, because the War Whip is gonna make any of my creature into double striker, given enough time. Okay, well, you know what? I accept this. That is totally acceptable. Alright, so it's a shame I did not get a second mountain here. It's time to... let's play the war whip here. It's a 4... it deals 4 damage. Because if I do draw the second mountain, because I was thinking about playing the aspirant now, and if I draw a second mountain, then I can play both the gold warden and... it doesn't even matter, yeah. Actually. But point is, if I draw a second mountain, I can just slam this without any discounts. Now the question is... I could still play 2 blockers here. So if I attack for 4 in the air, what they can do is, of course, they can kill this guy, deal 2 poison. Yeah, I don't think I need to do that quite yet. I'll just play this one and the Punisher here, I believe. And then on the next turn, this can be a 4/4 attacker, because when I play the Glider, I will have 2 equipped creatures. This will draw me a card. Okay, they actually, well, they can sack that guy, no big deal there. So I don't have a good attack into the 6/6 now. I do have now. But problem is, of course, that this equip is, by the way, 4 now, because these also, they don't discount themselves, but they discount other blade hold war whips that might be on the battlefield. So equipping this thing is gonna cost 4. So attacking with this guy could be interesting. If they block with the 3/4, then I just let the trade happen. Yeah, let's do that. I'm actually willing to do that. If they take 4 damage, that's also fine. I can play this and leave mana up for the Crescendo, and next turn maybe the Glider. Okay, this is the best outcome. Now I could use the Crescendo actually and save this 2/2. Is it worth it though? Is it worth it? Well, I guess it is, because then I have a 4/4 double striker for next turn as well. And this is now safe to play because the opponent is tapped out. I get a... oh, I get... Alright, well, this went better than I thought it would be going. This is until the end of your next turn, so I still could have played the aspirant, but I just wanted to, you know, pacify this guy right away. Because I would have been able to just take 6 here and then next turn play this, but I'm more interested in playing the Glider on the next turn, so I'd rather just use the 2 mana on that turn there. Okay, ossification is only creature, right, or planeswalker, so they can't, it's not a permanent, so they couldn't get rid of this thing. They got the Jorkadin, which, you know, not a big deal. It's time to now do this. If I played this, I would still need 1 more mana to cast this, so let's just, you know, attack for, I think this 11 damage. They go to 9. Well, they go to 9, it just... okay, now it's so to 9. When the opponent concedes mid damage dealing, then the life total goes weird. But in the end, this shows the correct one. 9 was the amount. Okay, so black and white. Yeah, well, I have early drops to block these things. I don't think I care about the... They have the 6/6. I have some answers to it. Well, I mean, I have, of course, the clean answer, which is the planar disruption. And then, of course, I can combine pump spells and something to take it down. Hazardous Blast. Now, I did not see a lot of things that straight up die to that thing. And I'm not sure if I need to make them unable to block. They will be on the play, so I'm now on defense again. I think this is just fine. I will still play the Slinger. Now I didn't see any artifacts yet, so I could consider this as just a 2 mana 2/2. but it might still be better than a 2 mana 2/1 because this can't block the mites. Well, it can, but it'll trade. This doesn't trade with the mites. I'll just use the same deck here. There's not much. There's not much I need to change there because the main deck is really that good. Okay, so I have one card draw here to find the planes. I have 7 planes and then a Terramorphic Expanse. That's 8 total. I can buy some time with the Hexcode Slash, and most of the cards in the deck are... I recall it was 10 white cards, so I have 7 white cards left. Yeah, I think this is gonna be a keep, mostly because of the Hexcode Slash buying me some time and having an extra cantrip here. So now I have 6 more white cards I can draw. It's actually not... I mean, 26 non-white cards. Although something like a mountain wouldn't be that great. Guess I'll just draw this card right away. Okay, I did hit the Terramorphic Expanse, that's perfect. Now I don't have mana up for the Hexcode Slash, but I think I can live with that. It was much more important to find the white mana there. And they didn't have a 2-drop. They don't have a 3-drop either, unless they have the mites coming up now. But hey, I have... interesting, I could actually play this, because again the removal makes it... let's see. Yeah, okay, I'm gonna play the Ward 2 guy. Because it's harder for them to remove it for cheap now. Okay. They had no place on the first 2 turns. Then they have that guy, which is, you know, annoying, I admit that. But... oh, it is toxic too, so let's just kill it. Alright, so here I will of course just play a... just play this thing. And, you know, use 1 mana to deal with their 4-drop. This Hexcode Slash can be such a amazing... I mean, it doesn't... it's not only can be, it is an amazing card against anything that has these toxic creatures. It can even deal with 5-drops, because green has the... for example, green has the hasty 4/4/4/5 that has toxic 3. You can just use 1 mana to kill it. That is amazing. Ossification, dealing with the Lightbringer. Okay, they have to pay 2 more mana. They're gonna take 4 here. So... and now this is gonna be actually 10 damage with the Crescendo. It's almost gonna be a lethal attack on the next turn. Actually, I can play 2 creatures here, and I can disrupt some of the guys. Yeah, so I actually do have a lethal attack for the next turn. Of course, they might have more removal. They might have the -1/-1. It actually seems like they do have it, so they can kill this for free. But oh well. It's just a 1-for-fun trade. This is gonna attack as a 3/3 on the next turn. And if I really want to, I can Crescendo it. Yeah, that's it. And Crescendo it before attacking to draw a card, but let's of course first see what they have. If they have like a 6-drop creature, I just win. Because I could have made this guy into a 5/5 double striker, and then this would have been a 3-power attacker because of the good creature. That would have been total 13 damage. Okay, well, no such luck. But they just kill my 2/2, and I can just attack for 4 here. So now this will be, with the Crescendo, it's lethal by itself. Okay, they have that guy in there. So they have 2 mana. Yeah, they could have the exile anything, a creature with mana value 3 or less. That's what they could have. But I'll just win if I disrupt this and play the Crescendo here. Okay, let's see if they have a priority here. If this resolves immediately, I'm gonna go for it. It did. That means they don't have it. 2 blockers. And do this. Yeah. So that's something you can do on Magic Arena. You can't do that on Magic Online. You can't do it on, of course, tabletop Magic. But here I was able to observe that they don't have a response. Because if they would have had, of course, that could be like a pump spell. But it could be, in the worst case, be the common black card that exiles a creature with mana value 3 or less. And if I'm corrupted, it exiles any creature. But now I was able to, kind of play around it by first casting these, which I of course needed to cast regardless. But let's say this was Magic Online or Tabletop Draft. I don't think I would have gone for the Crescendo. I think disrupting this guy is still the correct move, even though they can only jump block here. This has menace, but that allows me to still push for about 6 damage here with these guys, and then I can play the Lightbringer post combat, and then I have the Crescendo for the next turn. I think I would have done that if it wasn't for the arena telling me that the opponent doesn't have any response. Okay, on the play, and yeah, this is good enough. I can try to find a land with this thing, and if I draw 1 land, everything is castable here. Skull Bomb, this could be a blue-red deck. Okay, I have another, not a land, but it's a castable, and a very good castable like that. Although they might not have too many toxic creatures. Okay. I am of course gonna attack here regardless, but am I gonna use the Crescendo now when I drew the land? I don't think it makes sense. But they still might not, block here. They can make this soon into a 3/3 unblockable because they can give 2 oil counters on it. But now I don't even. I get the 3 damage now. So the Aspirant does make the War Whip into a cheaper card. That means I can on the next turn, if I go for this now, on the next turn I can play the War Whip and the Hex Gold Slash, regardless of me drawing any lands or not. Then again, this is the 4 damage dealing thing. I think it's more valuable, because the 1/3 can't even block it. And I can still, if they put some more blockers on it, I can use the Aspirant, I can, use the Hex Gold Slash and all that. This poison they got, that's not gonna matter. It's very hard for me to... I guess if the opponent has like life gain, then it's possible my Duelist of the Deep Faith can poison the opponent. Okay, that thing has toxic, so I was actually a little bit worried they might have the Retrofitter, but that's exactly a perfect target for the Hex Gold Slash. Now I could still, trade with this thing. Then they don't get to put the toxic up. Come on. Oil counters there, but it's not really worth it because I can just easily get rid of this guy, and I can even play the Aspirant there. Is there a reason to not use the Slash? I think this is the best value for the Slash I can have now. So let's do this. Attack with both. I think they are gonna block now, but I still prefer my Menace guy. I can play the spell on the next turn. I mean, it could be a land which I would be able to drop right away. But... okay, they really want to save the Synthesizer. I guess I understand, because they do have the Skull Bomb. And now they are taking some... they have already taken 4 damage here. By not blocking here. Because I don't think on either of these turns, I don't think I have used the Crescendo. But do I want to play a 3/2 with Ward 2? Or the Aspirant? I can equip the Aspirant with only 4 mana, because this is equip 5, which doesn't get discounted by its own ability, but this says that if you target this with equipped abilities, they will be 1 cheaper to use. So I guess I'll do this. I can also not draw some equipment. I still have, 6 in the deck, so this makes them cheaper to cast. But they have really saved the Synthesizer. They really want to make it into a 3-3. But it costs 2 mana to keep the oil counters with this thing. That leaves them with 2 more mana. Okay, Chase here. Okay, I don't think it's gonna win by itself. They can make one of my guys -3, -0. So that's not gonna be doing anything. And the Chase, of course, it's very high loyalty card. Oh, another Crescendo. So do I have a victory here? I quite don't have a victory here. I can make this thing into a... Oh, actually I do have if they don't block. Problem is if I attack with the... Because of course I can make this into 5 power double striker, which means 10 damage to them. And then this deals 2 to them. I mean, it's worth it, right? I can... Okay, I can attack Chase with the Duelist of Deep Faith. Okay, let's go for it. Unless I miscounted, this should be good enough. I mean, are they gonna block the... They can't block the Menace guy, obviously. Are they gonna block the one... this guy here? Okay, they are not. Alright, so this... I mean, this should be 5 power, right? After all this. It's +6, -1. Yeah, it is. Oh man. What a finish to the game. Okay, so they do have a Chase now. I mean, the block on them... The block on the ear was actually free in the sense that... I guess if I had 1 pump spell, then they wouldn't have died. I had to have 2, and I had to have specifically the one that gives +3 power on both of them. So I guess them not playing around 2 of those, you know, I mean, it's acceptable. I'm not gonna say the opponent made a mistake here. Alright, Chase. They have the Retrofitter. I have only 1 removal for it though. I didn't see anything for the Hazardous Blast, no. No. Alright, so... The Slinger can kill artifacts. This is not an artifact, this is not an artifact, but this does animate an artifact. I guess it's... And blue and red can have artifacts. Yeah. I don't think... Well, I guess the presence of Chase might make me want to have the Hazardous Blast up. It's also pretty good with all the double strikers. But what would I be cutting? I really don't want to cut anything here. I want to play the early drops. The Duelist, maybe? I really don't want to. I guess the Skull Bomb. They are... Okay, I'm gonna cut the Skull Bomb, maybe. They are blue-red, they have a lot of instant speed interaction, so it can be sometimes a bit risky to make the play into open mana, try to activate this second ability here. So I'm gonna cut the Skull Bomb, and I'm going to play the Blast. That allows me to at least attack cleanly to Chase, or just, you know, beat the opponent with 1 attack, because I have 2 of those. If I have 2 of those double striker equipment out, for instance, that's already gonna be 8 damage from those. Okay. Open the draw here, and I have a 2-drop, 3-drop, all fine, and perfect mana here. Well, actually not exactly perfect, because I have 2 double red cards in the deck. But, well, I guess it's no problem no more. I think the Slinger is... I would want to see if they have the Unctus's Retrofitter. But if I don't draw any other 2 mana play here, I mean, I would have to just skip making a play altogether. I don't like that. I really hope I draw a 2 mana play here, which I did not. Yeah, because I would be happy to just kill the blow up the artifact that they're gonna animate with the Retrofitter. Alright, that is really tough actually. Well, I saw only 1 of them. That's quite the starting hand. Well, it's not that impossible to have 1 of their I mean, these common things and then the one uncommon that makes them into 4/4. Problem is I don't have a clean way to deal with it. I don't have a clean way to deal with it, but it would be so slow. If I take 4 now, yeah, I'm not gonna go for it. Not gonna sack. Because let's say I don't play anything now. They play the retrofitter, assuming they have the retrofitter. I take 4, then am I gonna next turn play this, kill the 4/4, and then, you know, I take still 2 and 1 poison from the retrofitter. I would be at 14, and then I play something like a Lightbringer, which at most trades with the thing. I think it's better off just hope they don't have it and curve out normally here. It's the moment of truth right now. I guess I have another one of these slingers in the deck still. Okay, just a thrumming bird. Proliferate. Sure. Well, they can get some nice oily stuff going on. But it is after all just a 2-mana 1/1. And I can here play some bigger creatures. So it's gonna be the Menace or the 3/2. I believe I like the Ward 2 guy now. It's harder for them to interact with it early in the game. And I don't have any equipment in my hand that I could, you know, benefit from the discount here. They just drew a card. Okay, so they didn't even get the oil counters. And now they don't have any target for the retrofitter if they draw that. It's gonna cost at least 3 mana to deal with this thing, which is almost their entire turn. I have 5 power here, they have 1 power. Of course they still have a play to make, but I have the Blazing Crescendo, so I can attack into some bigger creatures as well. Okay, they are in the think tank, wondering what should they be doing. Okay, they got the retrofitter now. That must have been drawn from... They would have never sacked this thing unless they missed... maybe they thought this could be an artifact or something, because there's another 2-mana 1-mana artifact flyer, the one with vigilance, and that dies into a card. But I believe they just drew this either from this or the, you know, draw step this turn. So they have 1 blue up. I think I can attack into the retrofitter with the Crescendo. I'm willing to use my turn for that. Don't think 1 blue can interfere with that. And they might just take the damage, which I'm happy about. And then the question is, am I going to play the Aspirant? Because I will want to block this thing, and this can trade with it. This can block it without dying. I guess 1 Lightbringer is enough, so I can trade with this guy. Get them. I'm gonna get the Mountain still because I have 2 planes in this hand. Yeah, this has, you know, toxic 1, so if I take the damage, they can deal, you know, 2 poison to me. I don't know if it's gonna be relevant, but it can be because there's a lot of proliferate from blue. Red has some proliferate, at least a 3 damage dealing spell. So I don't want to take here some poison and let them stabilize and then, you know, proliferate me to death. Well, there is 1, but now they at least had to use that before dealing, so they miss out on this proliferate. And they have to use their entire turn for that, so I'm actually, you know... Well, I don't know if they had a 2-mana play, but if I played the Aspirant, they would have been able to leave 2 mana up here. Okay, well that is a number of lands I don't really need, but it's fine. Now this thing can give me more poison, but of course, you know, I have pretty good board here with the Crescendo in my hand, and they have only 8 life, and they don't have any impressive blockers here. This thing is evasion with Menace, and of course I have a lot of live draws here, for example the 5-drop rares. So let's see if they have another one of these. Of course I can save it with the Crescendo if they do. They could have a bounce spell too. Anointed, they have no oil, so that's just a 4 mana 4/2. That is acceptable. And then they're gonna attack for 1, I suppose. There's no point attacking with the Retrofitter because I can't just block it. They bounce off each other. Okay, let's draw a spell, shall we? That is a good spell. So, I can actually play and equip the Aspirant, because this is 2 mana to cast now thanks to the Aspirant, and the equip cost will be 4 when I target the Aspirant. Sadly, that's all the mana I have, so it's not that fantastic. But it's not the worst idea actually still. Because I can attack with the Learning Lightbringer and this thing, they take 4. The double proc wouldn't make any sense because I can kill this with the first strike damage. And then this will only deal 2 to my 2/3. So double block means they just jump block with the Anointer. So they would be taking 4 and they would be trading with the Lightbringer. I would have the 2/2 token from here. The other option is of course to just play with the Crescendo here, just attack, see what they do. And then have a 2/2 double striker here. But I actually do prefer this. I do prefer this now. Because this is kind of a guaranteed 4 damage while I'm having the... I can just trade this, so I don't care about that. Because this is almost like a guaranteed 4 damage. And now with the Crescendo, or any unblocked creature I have will be lethal. And of course I have an easy block, because I have 2 2/2s to block the 4/2 with. With which to block the 4/2. And this is now, I mean, this is gonna be something they need to deal with anyway. It's a menace lethal guy, so this needs 2 blockers, so they must remove that. They can bounce it, that is fine. They get to proliferate, I go to 4 poison. And they are gonna... Well, they still have 3 mana up. I guess this is the only way to win, they try to keep proliferating here. Okay, so 7 mana up. Now it's 5 mana to equip one of these guys. Of course, if they were tapped out, it would be very trivial to equip, but I do think they have an interaction spell here. So it's better to play the Aspirant, and then this will be a 3 mana spell. Well, that's gonna be the only I don't have any other plays available, but it's fine. I'm not gonna die. Oh, it seems like they have nothing. Do they? Maybe they still do. I'm not. I mean, it seems like they have no priority here. Because of course the Crescendo just wins here if they have no response, but maybe I'm gonna play it safe this turn. I don't think they can proliferate 5 times. Okay, it does seem like they had nothing there. Do they have a counter spell? Well, I can still play the Splitter, even if they do, because I have the land here. Okay, so I'm not gonna get proliferated to death here, am I? I am not. I mean, they can proliferate me to 6, but can they do it 4 more times with 3 cards in their hand? And 6 mana only. I mean, they can cantrip. There's a cantrip proliferating spell, but that's 2 mana. I don't think they have enough mana. Even if they had the cards for it, they don't have enough mana. Okay, that's one proliferating, but it's half their mana. And they still have to deal with both of these. Okay. Alright, let's go to the next one here. Hey, now. Okay, some orbs. Okay, I'll be on the draw. Starting hand is... Yep. Again, 2 playable spells only, but they are good. I have both colors of mana, and if I draw any land, I have 2 additional spells I can play. Let's just get the mountain right away. Red and what? Okay, red-green is one of the stronger archetypes, but they have no 2-drop. They might have a Hex Gold Slash, but yeah, of course I'll just play my only thing here. Okay, no, nothing. It didn't seem like they have a bounce spell, pump spell either. Okay, vital spawning, that's a good one. No, I'm not too sad about the fact I don't have 2 red here, because I would be able to kill this and then play the Battle Feast. I'm just happy I did draw the the 3rd land right away. So of course now the question is, I can't attack into that guy, of course. I can only deal 2. So if I use the slash, that's all I'm gonna do this turn. I really don't want to keep them. Allow them to have me at corrupted status, because they will get the free spell from the graveyard. But this can be better against some other stuff. Now I can just play like the War Whip in here and trade with this guy. Actually, they even can't attack into it without the pump spell. But they might have a removal spell. I could do this. Ah, man, this is actually tough. This makes these things cheaper, but I need another red. I'm gonna just play the 3 mana spell here. It seems so awkward to play a 1 mana spell. Once I draw a second red source, I can, double spell with the slash and something else here at least. Okay, it seems like they don't have anything at the instant speed. Okay, and there's the red. Now everything is fine now. Everything is totally fine. I think I'm still going to play the Aspirant and the Battle Feast, because I can do it with this amount of mana. This makes the Battle Feast into a 1 mana spell. So let's start the aggression here. What are they holding when they are not playing any spells whatsoever? I take the trade here. If they block, I'm actually happy. So now I will do this. 1 red mana up. Battle Feast is a 1 mana spell, so now I can just block the 3/3 with the 3/1 here. And then of course this will be a 3 mana spell. So if I draw any land now, I can just double spell the second War Whip and the Splitter. And I can still double spell with the slash and one of these. But yeah, of course the opponent has played exactly 1 spell in this game. It's not very hard in this case for me, because I was able to curve out, because I did draw the lands. That was, of course, I definitely haven't had any mana issues in this event, and that's also why I have had pretty easy time winning these games, because this deck is really good if I don't have mana issues. The opponents need to really have something that matches my plays in order to have a chance. So now they have 5 mana. But time for a 5-drop Molten Rebuke. Okay, that's actually a good one. They can deal with my stuff, but they still can't. Okay, so they can kill a creature and an equipment. Well, I have more of these War Whips. So now it's actually time to think if I just should play the War Whip and the Hex Gold Slash, because this allows me to attack for 8 damage. Sorry, 7 damage. 2, 2, 3. They go to 9. They have no board. And then I can make this into like a double striker if I draw a land. Other than that, I can only attack with the 3/1, and I can play like a Woolsock Splitter, which is not the worst idea. This is the equip 3. It's not the worst idea actually. Okay, let's just do that. Because that also allows me to, equip the Duelist here, make it into 3/1, double striker that is. They must have something that's expensive, like the 6-drop, 6/5, Trample Reach. Okay, that's just the Lattice Blade Mantis. Now they have 2 mana up, so I have to be wary of tricks, but these are 2/3 toughness creatures. I can just attack into them. can attack into them with these, you know, 2/2s basically. Yeah, I don't need to use any disruption. I can save it for something actually threatening. They have to start making some blocks here. They can't just take 7 damage here. And yes, I know I could have killed the 3/3 there, but I don't think it's that necessary now. Because now what I still have left is I can play the War Whip here. Number 2, the first one got removed. And then I can do... I could make this straight up into a double striker, but they might have a way to deal damage. Yeah, 1 damage to... Yeah, they could have to deal 1 damage to each of the opponent's creatures. That makes me actually... I'm gonna play around that. It's only 1 mana to equip. And I'm not even sure if I want to equip the double striker or these 2 too. So let's not give them 2 targets for the spell that deals 1 damage to all of my creatures. If they play 1 big creature, Planar Disruption works, unless it's something like a bomb with Ward 4, you know, the Tyrannox, what's the hasty Toxic 4, whatever thing. I think that has Ward 4. It's 7 mana spell with triple green. Okay, that was a good card. Sadly, they will be able to kill yet another one of my... yeah, they can use 3 mana to destroy the War Whip here. Oh well. They have some equipment removal. Now... it's fine. Because I will disrupt this guy anyway. They can respond by using the ability, but they can't respond in a way that allows them to, you know, kill the enchantment, because once this is on the battlefield, this already, you know, is not able to use the activated abilities. So now is the final, you know, spot where they can use it, and they can kill the War Whip, I'm pretty sure, and then I can just, you know, attack still for 6 damage. They go down to 7, and I can play the Deep Faith thing, and again they have no blockers. So let's go. Oh, actually, I'm not gonna play the Deep Faith. I'm gonna play Jorkadin because of course this can draw me cards. I can have 2 equipped creatures on the next turn. I already have mana to re-equip both of these things. Or I can just equip Jorkadin itself with the splitter. That would also make it 4 power. Okay, they have that thing which is gonna give them... yeah, there's only 3 here, so they get a... The random, choose a non-creature, non-land. Exalt, yeah, okay, they get to... Now this is actually a third equipment removal spell for them. Wow. I think I'm still in a good shape here, but it's quite funny, in fact, how they are dealing with my equipment. They can kill either the double striker or the Jorkadin. I think Jorkadin has to go now. And the splitter goes away. So, wow, that's pretty nice stuff for them. Land drop and a skull bomb, okay. This thing doesn't have toxic, which means that... means that I can't kill it with the Hex Code Slash. I have to take a 2 for 1 here. Or 1 for 2 rather. I think it is still worth it. Yeah, it is worth it. So I'm going to equip here. Of course I can't equip this guy because it's gonna kill it. And now they either block the 3/1 or they get rid of the double striker here. And then I can finish off the Hellraiser. They do have a card draw here, so they have 2 draw steps. Well, 1 draw step, but 1 extra card here. They get the information now to see how they should plan with their blocks. Now they go down to 3. Now that is not a lot of life. Now there is a chance I draw the hasty, one of the hasty flyers, the equipment I mean. That means I should attach the batter fist right away. Although if I draw that, it's such a good thing anyway. I'm not gonna do that because I'm again a bit scared about them, drawing the card that deals 1 damage to all of my creatures. So I don't want to give them any other 1 toughness creatures now than the duelist. And if I draw the, hasty 4/4 flyer, that's just gonna be a lethal attacker unless they have something very specific here. There's a basilisk. They have 2 blockers in here. My 3rd war whip is here. The opponent must be pretty annoyed now. Okay, so this thing will just kill a 2/2 that's not equipped with the batter fist. Now if I equip the first striker, they have to block that. And this will eat the blocker because this will be 3 power first striker. And they can't double block it because these will be lethal. So if I equip here, they are going to put the engraver on here. And then they're gonna kill one of these guys. So I'm trading the engraver with the duelist or these 2/2. I think it's definitely worth it, especially given what I have in my hand. So let's just do this. And then I attack with all, and they are forced to take also 2 damage. They will be at 1 blocker and 1 life after this. But yeah, they have the Miglos. That's a really good one if they get it early. Yep, that is my 3rd. So in top 50% of my deck I drew in fact all of 3 of these. But then again I haven't drawn my 5-drop bombs. But yeah, that was now enough for the opponent. Right. I feel like the Blazing Crescendo is what I want to have at 3 copies against this deck. They can have some big blockers. And I didn't actually see that much instant speed stuff. This is a sorcery. So maybe they don't have many ways to punish me from playing these tricks. Definitely the Hazardous Blast doesn't do much against them. The creatures have enough toughness. And I don't want to count on, the Falter effect being lethal because there's no guarantee if I have to be. Although I think with this deck I'm mostly on the offensive, but still. Alright, so any artifacts I want to get rid of? I don't think this time. Yeah, I think the 2/2s now are not so good. I can cut one of them, and I might cut another one of them and play the Justiciar, which can at least be a... Because they have this 1/3, they have this 1/3, so I want my 2-drops to be able to deal more than 2. Well, I have some pump effects. Okay, how many artifacts that is? It's only 9 other artifacts. If I put this, it's still only 9 things that can trigger this. I might even play the Skull Bomb actually. Although, do I want to cut 2 2-drops? Don't know if I want to really. Maybe I should play one of the Batter Fists. I mean, sorry, that I'm gonna play regardless, but the Shrapnel Slinger. It's just not a good one against the 1/3s I saw. What the heck? Let's cut that. That's still 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 2-drops and some, interaction early in the game. I'm gonna play the Skull Bomb here. Sure, let's go. Yeah, I have one of the 2s and I have this 3, which is really good. All the colors. Yep, Terramorphic Expanse. Again, making sure I have both colors. It's so nice to have a Terramorphic Expanse in your starting hand because, that unless it's your only land, that guarantees you will have both your colors. Okay, they did mulligan there. So they have mulligan to 6 on the play. They might run out of cards, but that's too early to say. Anyway, my curve will be great here. I can cast all of these. Let's just not misclick and put an accidentally planes there. So okay, they fetched a mountain so that they are not color screwed for sure. They have just maybe 2 forests in their hand or something. Unless they misclicked at the wrong land, which I don't believe. Yeah, there's a forest. Now they have a vital spawning again. Now, again, if I play the Hex Gold Slash, which is able to kill it, I will not be able to do anything else this turn. So I'm gonna actually use the Crescendo now if they block. If they don't block, I don't mind. And now I can play the Lightbringer because I'm willing to block this thing, and I'd rather block with the Lightbringer than with the Punisher here. Although, no. Because I do have only one mountain here. Yeah, Lightbringer allows me to play the Slash and the Lightbringer on the next turn. Yeah, I'm actually gonna use that as a tiebreaker here. And I might even just block this 3/3. I think I will. Let's try to not get corrupted for them to cast this again. I'm not sure if it's gonna work, but I have. If they have more toxic creatures, I can just kill with the Slash. So maybe I can avoid getting corrupted here. They might kill the Punisher. Of course, this is only toxic 1. I don't immediately get corrupted if they. Okay, that's fine. So I'll go to 1 poison now, and next turn I can use the Hex Gold Slash to my advantage here, if they have like something similar. So that's what I'm gonna do here. Okay, they are now having priorities, so they do have something in there. But that could be very good for me, because I can just do this. And if they have like another one of these, I can respond with the Slash here. And they can't kill with their own Slash unless they untap and have 3 mana up there. Okay, down to 3 cards. Strider there, okay. So I think this time, well, let's see if they attack with both. I think I'll just want to use my red spell now, regardless if they attack or not. Yeah, I'll take 4 here. Blocks. No blocks, and then, because I have only 1 red source, I should, use my red mana when possible. There might not be any better target for this anyway. Yeah, they have priorities because of this thing, so I'm gonna have to wait for them to, get the priority at every step. Now this is of course gonna give haste to some of their own other creatures, but I mean, what was I gonna do? Like leave 2 blockers now? I might take a lot of damage. Of course, I do have the option to. Jump block if I really want to. Okay, they actually had nothing there. Well, that's interesting. I could just do the Skull Bomb here this turn. It's pretty safe. This is unblockable because of Menace. I can make this guy fly. Of course, I could use the Crescendo, but again, against the open mana, I don't feel I want to do that. And yeah, this priority means that they do have the priority here. Let's make this guy fly. At least if they have a removal spell, they have to, use 2 extra mana, but they do have the 2 extra mana. Okay, they did not. So now they are taking 7 here, unless they have a way to interact with this board somehow. Okay, now they are in trouble, of course, because the Crescendo means any of my creatures will be lethal now. Unless it's met by... Okay, they just... I don't know. Had lands in their hand, because they did have 3 cards. 6 lands, so any spell is, gonna be castable. And actually, despite having... Come on, where's my mic wire going? I don't know. Alright, so, of course, another trio. I think this might have been 6-0 games. Did I lose a game? Of the deck is just bonkers. I mean, 3 of these things. But the funny thing here is that I think I cast like this thing once. I had 2 of these. with the discounts I had, actually possibilities to play these things on turn 4 wouldn't have been unheard of at all with the triple aspirant. Also the Jorkadin with the amount of pump I had in the deck, and also the 7 equipment in my deck, these could have, and I had 2 of these too, these could have done something, but I never got to do anything with these things. I mean, I'm not complaining, just throw it once more, but it's funny how you might look at this checklist and think that, okay, well, of course you have double Dragonwing Glider, you're gonna win some games, and Jorkadin with good amount of synergy, double Jorkadin, that is, yeah, you're gonna get some nice extra cards and all that, but I didn't really need them. The best card in this deck, I mean, not the best card because the Dragonwing Gliders are the best cards, but the most impactful cards in this event were the Bladehold War Whips, and the Blazing Crescendos were quite nice, quite good backups too, and of course the Hex Gold Slash did some amazing work there. But yeah, what can I say? Just an amazingly open colors. Getting three of these uncommons is just, that's crazy by itself, not counting the rares. But yeah, I mean, just a great deck. I don't think there was really, I mean, it was really easy to pilot the draft. There maybe were some packs where I could have taken any of multiple good cards, but you couldn't really have gone much wrong in this draft when if you moved to the red-white. And I think that was quite easy to go to that direction given how the early picks went. Alright, well, another trophy here. And I'm not cherry picking these, I have just had a pretty darn good win rate now in my last few drafts. I did have some unrecorded drafts where I had 1-2s, 2-1s, also a 3-0 there too. So I don't have like 80% win rate. I think I'm close to 70% match win rate in this set so far. But who knows, you can always hit a bad streak. I hope that just won't ever happen, but it's totally possible. So let's claim the prize here, and I will see you in the next video in a couple of days. Thank you for watching, and bye bye.